excited to be here. Oh gosh, where to start? So here's the thing about living a kick-ass life. You have to be willing to live your life differently. I think that's really the biggest thing. You know, we want change, we want something different in our life, but we don't want to change. It's kind of the scary part, right? Because we're going off into the unknown. So I think, though, that this is sort of the foundation for living your kick-ass life. And I do a workshop called 3 Secrets to a Kick-Ass Life. And there's just 3 components to that. And that is that we have a desire, we disrupt our old behaviors, and we dare to take inspired action. And it's really very simple. In practice, maybe not so much. But my belief is that every single one of us is the creative spirit in action. That's how life lives itself. It doesn't happen to us. It doesn't happen out there. It happens through us, from within us, and we create what's out there. So we have a choice to create what we want, especially in areas of our life where we're maybe not completely happy or satisfied at the moment. We're experiencing some discontent. I think that to know when you look at your life, you know what your thoughts are, you know what your internal landscape is. And if you don't like what you're experiencing in your life, you can change the internal landscape to change the external landscape. So it's really about awareness. Mm-hmm. Awareness of who you are, awareness of what you're doing, why you're doing it, all those limiting beliefs, and then making a conscious choice to do something different.
So that was so much all at one time, right? So I think, but to bring it back a little, right? It's like knowing you're somewhere, wherever, yes, and then knowing that there's somewhere else
to go.
Like, that's a hard concept for some people.
More, how hard?
So I'm here. So I have friends. I know people who they have just accepted this is how it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't see that by shifting anything in their life, it could be better, because they feel like it's external. Whatever's happening is external, that they don't have control. Have you found that to be so?
Yeah. I lived that way for a long time. There was something that I had sent to you when we were planning this about how many of us, especially women, feel that we are responsible for the care, feeding, and happiness of everyone else. Right? So we think that all of that stuff is out there and we have to deal with it, and we don't have a choice to do something else.
Right.
And I did that. I did that myself for a really long time. What I started to realize for me, in my case, is all of that responsibility was a way for me to avoid really getting clear about what I wanted and taking responsibility for me. And that often happens. We make it about other things. We make it about life happening to us and don't allow ourselves our own choices. So it's a process, right? It's a process of evolution for most of us. And yeah, I know a lot of people who are just not in that place yet where they're ready, where they're actually ready to look at themselves and say, oh, this is all really about me and about what I'm thinking and about how I'm choosing to live my life, and I can make a different choice. So the women that I work with and men that I work with have reached that place where they're saying, oh, I'm starting to get this now. I have a problem in my life, and I think it's me.
That can be so frightening, though.
It's incredibly frightening.
Oh.
It's incredibly frightening. So the whole process is about, part of the process is, this is really a self-love practice, all of it.
Yeah.
And really recognizing that what you believed yesterday, it's okay, because that's where you were yesterday. It's not about beating yourself up for it. It's not about regretting it. It's about understanding that that was all the path to this awareness, to this realization, to where you are now. And my passion and love is really taking people through that process when they're ready. to recognize how they can take small steps every day in the present moment, because that's the only time we have. Past is gone, future's not here. And really take a step in that present moment towards what that vision is, that dream, that desire is that they have.
So here's something. So if you know there's something better, and you know, and you've come to what you just said, it's your realization that there's something better, and it's up to me, right? And so you've let that other stuff, the crutches fall off. Okay, I don't. Yes, I might have to do for others, but I have to put myself first. But what if you don't really have a clear vision of what it is that you absolutely want? I don't know what I want, right? But you know that you want to feel a certain way, but you don't know what that looks like.
Great question. When I was in that, kind of mired in that, what I'll call codependent life, and all that responsibility, you could have offered me the moon and I couldn't tell you what it was I wanted.
Yes.
Right. I get it. I totally get that. Most of the time, though, I would say this. I think that we know, we just don't ever allow ourselves to connect with that part of us. Because I think deep down we always know that's that creative spirit. It's in everyone. It's there. That's life calling us forward. But we've been so conditioned. If you've ever read The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, right? In the introduction, he talks about our domestication, how we believe the dream of the culture and society, and we forget about what we want, what's calling to us. So I think it's always there. We're just not accustomed to or conditioned to look at that. We're conditioned to look at other things. But I will say this, I think everyone knows when they don't feel right, and it really is all about the feeling. You know what you don't want to feel, so you have some idea what you do want to feel, and that's a really great starting point. I've had women in workshops say to me, but I really don't know what I want. And the conversation becomes, what do you want to feel? How do you want to feel?
Yeah.
And that's the starting point. And what makes you feel that way? What could you do right now that would give you that feeling of joy or whatever it is that you're looking for? Just one small thing. And you start to feed that feeling of joy, and you start to see other things that come into your awareness. And before you know it, you really are stepping into something greater, something different, something more fulfilling. It doesn't have to be, we don't have to make some giant quantum leap. It's little tiny steps.
That's so much more comforting then, right? That's so much more comforting than saying, okay, shift and be happy. Like, be happy.
No, it doesn't work that way, right? It's like riding a bicycle. You didn't know how at first. You needed training wheels, and you were scared, and it was wobbly, right? And you thought you might fall off, and then you got a little better without the training wheels, and then you went to a bigger bike. But it didn't happen. You didn't just get on that big bike and ride it. It didn't happen that way. And everything in life happens that way. Tiny steps take us to the big leap.
So I'm going to ask you in a second exactly what is kick-ass living, but also what I'd love to do is just spend a minute or so talking about, most of the people that I talk to or in my communities are they're solopreneurs, a lot of heart-centered solopreneurs. It's yogis and energy healers and light workers and qigong and reiki and all of those amazing work that I am so excited to be able to support, because I know it's what's bringing more love into this world that needs so much more love. And without these people that I work with spreading their message, it'll be, I just know that my people that are spreading their message are going to make real long-term changes in the world. Yeah. And so a lot of them have a glimmer. Because they're energy healers, they kind of have a glimmer of what that fulfilled life could be. They know what the positive energy is. They know how to maybe even stave off negative energy and self-depleting activities. But as far as their business, I think sometimes they feel heavy, or they have a lot of should on themselves, a lot of feeling like they're supposed to be doing something, right? Like they have imposter syndrome. Or do you have maybe as you talk about what is kick-ass living, maybe we even talk about that and how solopreneurs, heart-centered entrepreneurs can use some of the tools and strategies that you have.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. So kick-ass living is very individual. It's it's living the fullest life that you can see for yourself. So what it is for me is different from what it is for you or for anybody, really. It's about choosing the life you want instead of choosing the life that you've been told perhaps you should have, right?
Mm-hmm.
The things you should do, just taking that off. And for me, living a kick-ass life is more about, it's not about adding things to your life, it's about taking away. It's about taking away all those things that haven't served you and really rediscovering who you are underneath and what really matters to you. So it's very individual. It's interesting talking about, solopreneurs in their business, and gosh, there are a lot of tools and techniques. I think the one of the things we cover in the 3 Secrets workshop is we get into the place of disrupting what I call getting outside of our box of BS, and that's our beliefs and stories. And we all have them. We all have our stories about who we think we should be, how we think life should be, what we can and can't do, what we need to do, what we have to do. And what I have people focus on, this is probably the simplest place to start, is to focus on the way we're talking to ourselves. What is the language we're using to describe or to talk about the things that we desire to do and have and be? So every time I am shoulding on myself, I'm using that word should, I should do something this way or I should do something that way. It's really to become aware of that. Well, is that even true? Why? Why do I believe that? And does it feel right? And we get a lot into more so in the coaching and the program, but we do a little bit in the workshop. Get into listening to your body. Your body is your compass. It's the only compass you're ever going to need. And if you think about an uncomfortable situation and how it feels in your body, you realize what, and I'm going to call them negative or positive emotions, not that they're either, they're just information. But what we consider a negative emotion feels kind of heavy or tight, and when we're in a joyful emotion, we feel light and free. And you want to follow that light freeness. So when you're shooting on yourself, you're probably feeling heavy, tight, closed off, and restricted in some way. That's your signal that you are out of alignment with what you really want. So your body is directing you by the way you feel. So that would probably be the first thing I would offer someone in that situation, is to really be aware of how you're thinking about what it is you want. What are the words, the language you're using, either to yourself in your thoughts or when you're talking with other people? And start to shift that, or at least get curious about why you think that thought. Why does it have to be that way?
Yes.
Because it probably doesn't. And if it doesn't feel right for you, my guess is it doesn't. I can give you a really great example of that with me.
Yes.
When I first started coaching, I had in my mind that I would build this coaching business around one-on-one individual coaching, and I do love coaching. I had a call Tuesday with a woman it blew me away. Never mind her. It was just awesome. But this is where I saw this business going. I'm like, well, I've taken all this training, I've spent all this money, I have all this experience in life. I should do it this way. And the more I've coached, the more I realize that that's not really what I want. I prefer group coaching. I love being in the dynamics of group energy. Everyone supports each other. I love facilitating that. I love doing the coaching in that environment because I'm coaching one person and everyone else is benefiting from it. I learn every single time I do that. And that's really my sweet spot. And I tend to have my individual clients come from that. But for me, so I had to let go of this idea that I should do it this way. it's kind of like I was knocking on this door that wasn't going to open for me. Because I would have clients here and there, but it just wasn't happening the way I thought it should.
Yes.
And so that was a really big lesson for me. And now that I've moved into more of the group work, I do more coaching. I just love my business. I've been invited to do this in other places for women's groups, and all of this stuff is opening up for me. But it's letting go of that concept, or the minute I hear myself say should,
Yes.
it's really questioning why.
Yes.
Why do I think that? And not why in a way to, judge yourself. Just why do I think that?
Yeah. That's awesome. I love that. And then as far as like with the work I do, one of the coaches that I work with, she always stops us. So there's two things. One is I want to go back to the group coaching thing, but I want to talk about the should too. She stops us and says, wait, take a look at that. Do you have to do that, or do you get to do that? Because if you,
absolutely.
Right? So if it's something you get to do, then get to it.
Yeah.
If it's something you feel like you should do, but it doesn't, like you said, serve you, then take a look at that. So there's that. And then I so resonate with what you said about the group coaching, because I feel the same way. For so long, I thought I should be going into corporations and helping them with this. And I should be looking for the bigger organizations. But my heart kept telling me that I'm meant to serve the population that I mentioned, the people who are going to bring more love and joy and health into this world. But I had to find a way to be able to serve them that also served me, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
The group program helped with that. And the same as you found, first of all, the group program was amazing because people ask questions you don't even think of.
Mm-hmm.
And so they help each other. Like I'm here and they're here, and it brings us all up because we're getting into more conversations, sharing when people feel like they don't know how to put their questions into words. Somebody else does it for them. So powerful.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
And then people understand, then they get that, okay, I should have been doing it. I thought I had to do everything, but now I realize I don't have to do everything. And I know how to find help with the little things that I do need.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's that energy that I love.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you do the group programs, and sometimes that brings into one-on-one coaching. Are there other ways that you work with people to help them get their kick-ass life?
So right now I have a group, an 8-week group program that I am building a waiting list for. So it's ready to launch, and I am taking anybody that would like to let me know that they're available for it, that would like to do it. I have a couple of women who are interested from the Kick-Ass Living Workshop. Mm-hmm. And so I want to make sure I have the program's full before I run it.
Right.
Because that's really where everyone will get the most value out of it. And that is just called Live Your Kick-Ass Life. And that will be virtual, it's online, and I'm ready to run that probably within the next month or so. I have a workshop coming up on the 21st of March. It's a Thursday evening, Eastern time. I don't know who's listening where. Called 3 Secrets to Your Kick-Ass Life. And it's really a deep dive into what we talked about today. It's a 2-hour workshop. It is very powerful, and it is a lot of fun because I believe that you should be playing the whole time that you're doing this.
Yes.
I will be with a couple of other women that I collaborate with at the Discover You Wellness Expo on the 10th of March, which is a Sunday here in Warwick at the Crown Plaza. Yeah, so anybody that wants to just come out and chat, ask me a question, or you're there, I'd love to meet people. And my big event each year is an immersive retreat, a kick-ass living retreat. And this year, I've just signed the contract. The information should be out on my website in about a week, within the week. We are going to the south of France, and we are going to immerse ourselves in a sensory experience of self-nurturing called Pleasure in Provence. And it's a week in a villa near Gordes, France, France, Gordes, and we will do all sorts of immersive activities and experiences just to indulge the senses and to really get the women that go to first understand what pleasure means to them and to allow themselves to experience everyday pleasure, really. It's about being conscious of what brings us pleasure. So it's a really awesome week that we have planned.
That sounds amazing. I'll put all of your contact information in the interview notes so that people know how to find out more. And if you'll hop into the Rise Above group every once in a while and remind people. Tell us, some people might be interested in that Discover You, which is just coming up a week from Sunday. And that you said that's in Warwick?
It's in Warwick at the Crown Plaza. I believe it's from 10 to 5 on the 10th, that's Sunday. Okay. And I know there are a lot of holistic vendors there and coaches and a lot of people that will be speaking and doing workshops and seminars. So it's a really, Susan Latai produces that event, and it's really, I've been to it. This is my first time as an exhibitor, so I'm excited.
Oh, good luck with that. Awesome.
Thank you.
So before we wrap up, so I'm going to mention two things before we wrap up, because I know I want to give you time to offer your offering. So you guys, so this was a new thing for me to be able to stream to Facebook, and hopefully I'm recording as a webinar. If anyone tried to hop into the webinar on Zoom or on the live and you guys weren't able to, let me know. But I do know that I forgot to turn the recorder on. When I was talking at the beginning, we got all of Elaine's juicy stuff, but I didn't have it on for the tip that I gave at the beginning, which was about email signature. So so I am going to go through that at the end here. But before I do that, I want to ask Elaine to share. Hold on one second. I asked her, Elaine, what is your call to action?
Ooh.
And you have you had sign up for the 13 Power Habits for Kick-Ass Living. Tell us how people can get the 13.
Yeah, just go to my website, ElaineBlais.com, and you'll see the little pop-up to subscribe. And you can download your copy of 13 Power Habits for Kick-Ass Living. It's just a really fun thing to read. And honestly, every single one of those things on it matters. You don't have to do them all at once, but pick a couple that matter to you and practice them. And just become more aware.
Print them out, put them on your refrigerator, do one a day.
Mine's hanging over the desk in the office. Honestly, it really is. I'm like, oh, look at that.
Yes.
Awesome. But and you'll also, if you subscribe, you'll also get information on upcoming events and the retreat too, as that comes together. So if anybody's interested in any of that, I would love to have them sign up.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Elaine, for coming on today and for your patience and helping me set up this new Zoom thing and Facebook Live thing for myself. I'm going to, Shauna reacted. Hey, Shauna. Now I see why people get distracted, because they see the little hearts and they're like, oh, thanks, Rachel Pintarelli. Thank you. Yep. Little affirmations making me so happy. I'm going to shut off the live Facebook. Bye, guys. Stopping live stream there. We're still recording. And Elaine, I'm going to say thank you again, and I'll be in touch with you soon. And I'm just going to go into my spiel again about the email signature. I'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
Take care, hon. So you guys, here I'm going to go back to talking about email marketing, not email marketing, your email signature. I want to go on here and share. Stay with me. It's worth it. Okay. So you guys can see my screen now, I think, and you can see that I'm looking at my email. I want to just tell you what I told the people on Facebook Live, that that it's so important, whether you have a business or not, have an email signature at the end of your emails. And this is all you need. I have something that makes it, a signature and my name, but definitely have your name. Definitely have the name of your website, link to your website. and put your phone number there. You don't have to have all this other stuff here. I can't seem to even delete my picture here to show you. But I can't even tell you how important it is to have an email signature. Number one, it helps you with brand recognition. Also, number two, it just helps people not get frustrated, because if they're running late or somebody wants to just reach you real quick, they're going to go back to that email, have your phone number and your website on there so that they know how to get in touch with you. Thank you so much for hopping into this call with us today. I hope that it worked out okay. I'm going to stop sharing here, and I'm going to say thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon, I hope.